Well, good evening, everyone. My name is Allie Ray. I'm excited to welcome you to our VIP webinar on nutrition and athletic performance. I know that we have a lot of people who are dialed in on their phone right now, too, so I'm going to do my best to explain these slides to you. I know that you weren't able to sit down at a computer and be able to see this, but still this information is going to be really valuable for you. So I'm excited to really be your guide through this tonight because this is a topic that's very close to my heart. And I'm really honored to just be able to share this with you and that you're spending your time with us tonight. So this webinar is for you if you have an athlete in your life, if you yourself are an athlete or a fitness enthusiast, but it's also for you if you're searching to win this battle of man versus health. Now, what exactly do I mean by that? So maybe you have a sore back, maybe you have achy knees, you'd like to lose some weight, get leaner, and maybe just remain active and ensure that you don't fall victim to the health crisis of America. So I'll get into that a little bit later. But first, I'm going to start with my story for you so that we are not complete strangers. And I was a high school athlete turned fitness enthusiast, so I really fell in love with taking care of my body, and I believe it's a temple and we're commanded to care for it. And one of my favorite things is to help other people learn how to best care for their own health. So I became a certified personal trainer, and I own a private gym with my sister. I earned my degree in nutrition and dietetics, and I now partner with the #1 nutritional company, and it's called USANA Health Sciences. And we actually set the standards for other companies to strive to reach. I thought that that was really incredible. And it's been a phenomenal opportunity that has really expanded my network of business partners and now close friends to the caliber of professional athletes. They're in the NFL and the WTA, all the way up to world-class Olympians. So I debated sharing some of these pictures with you. I know that you can tell some of them are either progress pictures or some silly pictures, but I wanted you to see the effect that nutrition and exercise and lifestyle can have when you learn to use it as a competitive advantage. So because the fact of the matter is that everything that we put into our body is immediately shown in our performance. Now I'm recording this for you also, so you can have this as a YouTube video. You can share this for people that you know that weren't able to make it on tonight because they need to see this information as well. So here's the thing. After learning from PhDs in the science of nutrition and talking to the athletes about what they need for their optimal performance, a faster recovery, as well as injury prevention, it's a well-known and heavily researched theory that high-quality supplementation is in fact critical for these competitive advantages. So rightfully so, it's a major concern though because of the lack of regulation on the supplement industry, am I right? So in fact, vitamins fall under the category of food and it's very poorly regulated. So there are a lot of low-quality products that my friends and my family are taking. So I want you to answer me this. What are 3 areas of your health that you would like to improve? And furthermore, what supplements are you taking to support that? So people tell me all the time, Allie, I want more energy. I want to sleep better. I want pain relief. I want to lose weight. And my first question is always, what are you doing to target that? See, 1 out of 2 people will admit that they take a supplement of some form, but if you ask them how effective those products really are in addressing their needs, most people will say that they don't feel any difference. So I believe that there's merit to the notion that vitamins don't work because it's a poor product quality. So this slide that I have up right now says, studies show that 54% of the nutritional supplements tested do not disintegrate properly. And that is, in fact, an indicator of product quality. I'm going to introduce you to USANA Health Sciences. It's a world-renowned company. We're the world leader. This is our beautiful facility. It's in Salt Lake City, Utah. And we voluntarily operate under pharmaceutical manufacturing practices. So what does that mean for you? What does that mean for the athletes? What does that mean for the average American and just a typical consumer? Pharmaceutical good manufacturing practices tells us that what's on the label matches exactly what's in the bottle. There's no less, there's no more, and there's no different. You can see the flags outside of our facility. These are the different countries that we're in. So we actually are in 20 different markets, and that's really incredible. Now, when I was introduced to USANA Health Sciences, I was introduced to the founder. He's quoted as saying that most health supplements fall far short of meeting the nutritional needs of the body cells. And this is a statement that I firmly stand behind. Now, Dr. Wentz became an expert in growing cells and understanding the nutritional requirements of the human cell. In 1992, he shifted his focus into health maintenance and he founded USANA Health Sciences. So we've been around since 1992. Because of his brilliance in this area, in 2007, he was the recipient for the Albert Einstein Award for outstanding achievement in life sciences. My friends will ask me all the time, okay, Allie, that's really great, but why is USANA different? What makes them stand out? So aside from what I've already shown you, we're an FDA-registered facility, and we follow informed choice. We're NSF certified, which is a guarantee for quality assurance, so especially for an athlete. When they're looking at a product, they need to know that they can trust the purity and the quality and the potency, and USANA promises that. What really took it over the top for me was that third-party independent studies say that if you're going to purchase a product, USANA Health Sciences is one of the top products that you should really consider. So in this comparative of over 1,600 different nutritional supplements, USANA continues to set the gold standard for other products, and we earn the gold medal of achievement for proven product excellence. Now, you may be saying, that's all really great information. I get that I can trust USANA, but I eat pretty good, so do I even need to take that? Now, let me tell you, I work primarily with athletes and weight loss clients, and when somebody tells me that they eat pretty good, I tend to believe otherwise. Okay, so let's take a look at the health reality of today, is that unfortunately many people are plagued by the leading causes of premature death. Now, what are those? Do you know somebody who's suffering from cardiovascular disease, cancer, stroke, respiratory disease, diabetes? Yeah, this is personal for us, right? If we have not been affected by this personally, we know somebody that is, okay? And so if we really want to look at what is this issue, let's take a look at one of the root problems. Now, these are primarily diseases of lifestyle. So environmental factors play a role in this. Now, some of these can be avoided and some can't, but if you look at pollution, radiation, toxins, what about stress? Emotional stress, physical stress. If you're an athlete, you're undergoing both of those, right? I know that nutrition matters at a cellular level. So let me show you why. If you take a look at this picture here, now we're in like 9th grade biology. Don't fall asleep on me. This middle picture here, this is oxidative damage. This is oxidative stress to our cells. Okay, you've heard of oxidation. Maybe it's like rust on a car. It's the aging or the wearing out process. Now, the same thing happens to our cells when we go through extreme exercise, poor nutrition, emotional stress, radiation, toxins, right? So all of these things that our bodies are being subject to. The same thing happens to our cells. Now, I'll take this more into a example that you could visually understand. Let's take an apple. You cut open an apple or guacamole. You leave it on the counter for 20 minutes. What happens? Turns brown, it starts going bad, right? This is the same thing going on with our cells. And so science says that one of the leading causes to those 5 degenerative diseases is this consistent state of oxidation to our cells. Let's go back to the apple and the guacamole. What if you pour lime juice or squeeze lemon juice on top of them? It protects them, right? You're introducing antioxidants. So that's the same thing that's going on with our cells here. In this third picture, we introduce antioxidants. We've reversed this damage and we've protected our cells. And where do you get antioxidants from? If you said fruits and vegetables, you're absolutely right. Our nutrition matters. But let me show you this. If you're telling me, okay, I eat pretty good, let's define need in terms of, do we really get what we need from our food? Okay, if we're talking about the RDA, which was set back in the 1930s and the 40s to prevent deficiencies, sure, we're getting what we need from our food. We're not walking around with rickets or scurvy, but there's a level called optimal levels. So I'm not concerned about RDA levels. I'm concerned about optimal levels because that's where we start to see a health benefit. Okay, for optimal levels, if you'll just look at this example here, just for vitamin E, we need to have about 13.8 cups of wheat germ. Now, I don't know anybody other than a dietetic student who eats wheat germ. 7.5 cups of almonds, or 72.6 cups of spinach. I love spinach, but that's a lot of spinach. This is in one day, friends. So if you look at the statistic down in the bottom left, 2/3 of children do not get the RDA for vitamin E and zinc. Now, if we're talking about an active child, a growing child, development, athletes, and they're not even getting the nutrients that they need, definitely need to talk about supplementation, right? So I'm going to bring this home for you. Which lawn would you prefer to have if we're talking about athletic performance? If we're talking about longevity and quality of life. This picture on the left, I mean, this lawn is okay. It's not dead. It's definitely not growing and thriving, right? If you consider the lawn on the right, compare this to your health of being at optimal levels of nutrients. This is a beautiful lawn. It's growing. It's thriving. You look at these two in terms of health and how that can factor into your athletic performance, a big difference. Am I right? Okay, I love that we're all about personalization, so your needs are going to be different than mine. So we have different optimizers to target specific areas of need for you. So everybody needs to start on USANA Essentials Multivitamin. And so this is where I start all of my athletes on. This is where I start all of my weight loss clients on. This is where I start every average Joe as well, because the multivitamin itself fills in those gaps of what we're not getting from our diet. And that's a big gap, especially if we're trying to hit optimal levels of nutrients to see a health benefit. So you tell me, can you take in 22,000 calories worth of fresh fruits and vegetables and fish and lean meat every single day? And I love to eat, but that's a lot of food. That's not going to happen for me. Okay, so I don't want to eat 80 bananas or 18 and a half medium oranges. So I'm thankful to have USANA's Essentials to help fill in those gaps for me. The second product that I recommend that everybody takes is a high-quality fish oil. It supports sound cardiovascular health and joint health. USANA's products are guaranteed to have no mercury content. The third one, and I'm going to go into this a little bit more, and especially for athletes as well. If you look down here, athletic performance is one of the benefits of our proflavanol C. It's a grapeseed extract. Now, let's just go through some of these benefits. So if you think of people in your life, cardiovascular health, blood pressure health, proflavanol C can help with blood sugar health, eye, gum, skin, joint, brain health, blood flow to extremities. That was something that I needed. Immune support, it's loaded with antioxidants. It's a powerful antioxidant. Breast, prostate, cervical, and colon health, kidney health, bladder health, and then, of course, athletic performance for our nitric oxide release. So let's look at what do the pros take. So I did some digging and some researching to really find out what these Olympians are taking. Starting on the Essentials Multivitamin. Okay, from there, they're adding in the Biomega fish oil, proflavanol C, so those are all ones that I've already covered. Active calcium when we're thinking about integrity of your contraction of your muscles. Vitamin D is really great. Of course, we're talking about bones too here, right? Calcium and vitamin D. Vitamin D is great for recovery, for sore muscles as well. And then Percosa, especially with achy joints, achy knees. I know a lot of our athletes are NFL players, and guess what they love? They love their Percosa. USANA is also for the whole family, so it's not just for the active child or the active adult and the athlete. So we have prenatals for expecting mothers. We have Body Rocks, which is for our teenagers. And then my daughter, she's 2. She loves her chewable USANimals. USANA is doctor approved, so if you talk to your doctor about this, they can look us up in the physician's desk reference and they'll find us. Many doctors are very, very impressed with that, and that's why they partner with USANA as well. Let's talk about pre-workout for just a second. Okay, so we're an athlete. We need a little boost. We need a pre-workout. We need something to help us to just get through our workout and really get us into that zone. Rev3 Energy has been monumental in my workouts and in my clients' workouts. And so let's really look at the science behind this and what makes it work. Now, I'm not going to go into all of the science with this for you because I don't want to take up your entire night, but let's look at just this. Okay, L-carnitine, if you figure, is going to shuttle your fatty acids into the mitochondria. So we're talking about the powerhouse of the cell where they can be turned into energy. Okay, this is going to come into play. Other products, a lot of other products are just loaded with sugar. And so all it's doing is spiking your blood sugar. Okay, but USANA is low glycemic. Its glycemic load is in fact 3 to 4 times lower than traditional energy drinks. It also helps to transport the toxic byproducts of this energy combustion out of your powerhouse, out of your mitochondria. Okay, so it's not going to lead you to a sugar crash. Caffeine sources come from a blend of teas, and it's loaded with antioxidants. It's loaded with coenzyme Q10. If you need a pre-workout, this is what I recommend for everybody to take. Let's talk about post-workout, and let's talk about nutrition overall. We know that this is one of my favorite topics. This right here is your blood sugar. So I call this the glycemic roller coaster because that's completely what it looks like, right? You tell me, is an athlete going to be able to perform optimally if they're on this red line? So it's going all the way up, it's crashing all the way down, it's spiking all the way up. So this is our blood sugar. This is what's going on in our body when we are eating processed foods, when we're eating high glycemic foods, when we're eating sugary foods. So if you think of a young athlete and them needing to perform optimally, this is not working very well. But the issue is we're so busy. We are so busy, and we need convenience for our athletes, and them relying on these processed foods is not doing them any good for their performance. Okay, so let's look at the green zone. What does that mean? This is low glycemic. So I recommend that all athletes, I recommend that everybody does really, stays on a low glycemic diet. What does that look like? It's fresh fruits and vegetables. It's lean meat. But what it does is it fills us up. It keeps us fuller longer, so we don't have this mental fogginess and lack of clarity. Now you tell me, can you perform better when well, let's just look at, so I'm a runner, kind of. I guess I don't really consider myself that. I run 5Ks sometimes, and I do it just to stay in shape, but I can tell a major difference if I had pizza the night before, or if I had grilled chicken and broccoli and sweet potatoes and all of these amazing vegetables, right? Low glycemic. You can tell a major difference in how you feel and how you perform. I love that USANA makes it completely convenient for us to get in low glycemic diet though. So especially if we need a convenient meal or a snack, or if we need a post-workout shake, this is what's offered for us. It's completely low glycemic. They taste amazing. They're convenient. They have the healthy ratio of carbs, proteins, and beneficial fats for you, and it's gluten-free. So this is what I recommend for athletes as their post-workout shake. I'm going to close with this. I love that USANA has a $1 million athlete guarantee. It says that for any professional athlete, they take USANA and they're tested positive for anything that should not be in their system, and it can be linked back to USANA in any way. USANA is going to compensate that athlete for up to $1 million. That's absolutely incredible. Really putting their money where their mouth is as far as their purity and their potency and their quality guarantee. So I just want to show you just some of the different organizations. We now have over 750 athletes that partner with USANA and are proud to use USANA for their nutrition. So if this resonated with you, I want you to go to the person that invited you to this. Tell them you're ready to get on that athlete pack. You're ready to get the meal replacement shakes for your post-workout and really start performing optimally. So thanks so much for giving us your time. Have a great night, everybody.